Now, as a sidebar, you can use this to plan a business. In fact, all the consulting I do, I give them the 12 steps. In our finance class, we use this for business planning. So this is a great check. It really forces you to go through. Instead of taking a standard business plan format by Googling it, you can use this. You can fit your format into this, but this is a great format. Just use it. It goes through every aspect, and you'll see. And this is just the first principle. There are 3 more to go. Set goals. We talked about it. Essential for a manager to set goals and how much money, or what are goals? Milestones. Milestones along the journey, right? So how do you measure your goals? Something concrete. Why? Because we're going to use them later in assessment, in quality. How can you improve what you cannot measure? So the goal to have a good corporation is not a goal. To have to have a business that pleases people is not a goal. That's a statement, it's almost visionary. But it's very vague. So goals have to be very specific milestones along the way. And you can have, of course, more than one, and you can have subsets. After that comes strategy. Some people talk about strategic planning, strategic goals. To me, their words sound a little bombastic because I can't understand it. Strategy is very simple. And the classic book is by Klaus Schwab on strategy. It started off with war. And Sun Tzu, war guy, art of war, does a great job in very simple but profound way. And then Dixit and Nailpuff have done a great job on strategy too. So those are some good books on it. But then Romero used to read, wrote a book on strategy, The Desert Fox, the World War I. Rama. Sounds better. So strategy is what? The most effective way to get to where you want to go. We talked about it. Leaders are very, very concerned about strategy. Because that they are so concerned about the vision that they want to make sure the strategy is right. But that's really a part of phase 2, which is a manager's role. You want to add something?
No, I don't think. I'm fascinated.
So once you have a strategy, then you do a plan. What is the strategic plan without strategy? A plan is nothing but a triptych. You heard of the AAA triptych. It's a little tick that tells you, as you go along, you'll see this, you'll see that. That details everything. In a way, all these 12 steps are a plan. Essentially, this is a planning tool. You're planning your action, in a way. But all action follows this. So plan is to detail, and a plan can contain all of this. What is organization? Planning, organization, management would they teach. Goals, plans, organization, staffing. And now some of the enlightened people are saying check and renew. But they weren't listening to Deming. So organize, build team, staff. So if you have a plan, then these should all go hand in hand to fit with all of this. And I think everybody in the organization should have this in front of them for their organization. If you have it, you've got team building too. This is how you build the team, which is direction, guidance. You build it and you guide. That's training. I don't like the word direction. That's what they talk about, direction. Direction is one-dimensional. Guidance and discussion is more. You've got to guide people and get feedback. Coaching is an even better word than guiding. So once you've done that, you can perform your action. Now I want to come back here. To go from here to here, what is required? Courage. That's what it takes. It takes courage. It's like knowing you want to swim in the Chili River and deciding to jump into it. It's tough. How many of you have dived in a pool? Diving. You've got to a high boat. Do you feel that fear for a minute, right? That's the gap between here to here. But I'll tell you one instance when there is no fear. There is no gap. Imagine a mother with a little 4 or 5-year-old girl at the edge, at the street corner. And the girl has a ball. And the girl is playing with the ball and it goes into the street. She runs and a car comes. What do you think the mother does? Mother jumps in front, pushes the girl out. She lands on the floor and the bus hits her. Maybe on the leg, we won't make it very good. Right? What is happening? All 12 steps are there. All 12 steps are present. She has a vision. What is her vision? To see her daughter grow up into a beautiful young woman, get married one day, have a good life, and a good family, and grandchildren. Isn't that vision? It's always there. Think about it. Grandfathers have their vision too. Reality check is, I've got to take her to school, she's got to play, I'm doing it all the time. Commitment. Good mothers are committed. She sets a goal, she's got to go to school, go to do these things. So all these things are in the back of her mind. She's not even worrying to wait. This she will do after she goes to the hospital and gains consciousness, and she'll say, how is Debbie? You see? And Debbie is fine. This is what she'll do later. But is there any hesitation between phase 1 and phase 2? Tell me. Huh? No. And I'll tell you ironically, it's very sad. And I have this video. The day in class, and there is nothing happened by accident. I really believe in intuitive power. We talked about that in one little slide when we talk about motivation. I really believe that there is a higher force or a power. The day I spoke in class about this example, that day there was an accident in a parking lot with a buggy, a car came, and actually the mother got hit. She pushed the buggy out of the way and she got killed. I have, because video was on CNN, and one of my students brought the video. I have that video. So that tells you that this is not, and I've been using this example for years. So this does happen. So this is purposeful action. Action from within. You heard of inside out, outside in? Forget those cliches. If you do this, this vision is always from inside. Vision is not outside. It's when you start getting driven by gap and opportunity, or when you do something, you see these schools are advertising. Some of our state school here, or I think Chattanooga State, for example, they have a fantastic billboard with a nice car, and they'll say, what a good life, come sign up. So this is what they painted. That's what it is to the job. Now, I'm sure they're doing good, but they say, what a good life, come to school. So in other words, they are trying to promise that. Why not education? Because people are basically tuned in to an external reality. So they're driven by this. They don't even think of vision. They say, hey, I want a good job, and get to drive a nice car. So it depends on how you want to use it. You can use it very superficially, or you can use it in a deeper way. Measure the results. Revise and renew the action. Goals change. So what is happening is situations change. You talk about global, the business changes around. So I can't say this is it. The trustee would always want to just be looking at that one goal I have, because goals have changed. The other thing is my organization changes. I have somebody taking care of their personal agendas. So my arrow is no longer firm. It's no longer going there. I got it all over the place. So I got to gather all that as a leader, as a manager, whatever. And I got to repoint it, redirect. This happens. Change is a part of life. In the river, not only is the waves in this one of these books, right after spilling some ashes, it's a death in this thing, because life is also ends. There is a big boat toots its horn and creates waves, and the little boat shakes. That's your life. We are affected by the action of others. So this is not static.